Qualifier, and I think some common things. And it's looking like you might have the solo cast. I don't want to, I mean, me have the solo cast. I don't want a solo cast, but Landon, you'll help me out because breach uplink isn't totally my thing, but I'll do my best to throw it back to you when we can. But going over the specialist, do you have any preferences on breach uplink?
I mean, as far as uplink goes, I wasn't sure if overdrive was banned. I think we saw overdrive be banned, so that was definitely a major one to be in use. However, I think that was taken out, so that is kind of a good one to use. I'm also seeing psychosis, I think, being used from both Valor and Barbie, so that's obviously very useful. A lot of people in the beginning of Black Ops 3 we're actually using the psychosis to kind of bait out while it still works that way. It also is kind of being used as a shield. So if someone's getting ready to shoot at you, you can enable that psychosis. They're going to be using a lot of those bullets to try to strike those clones, which keeps you alive for that much longer. So something to keep in mind. I think definitely psychosis is one to use, and I also see Clammy grabbing the active camo. So that's also very important as well. Being able to kind of be off the map and on and off of sight can obviously lead to a lot of those easy buckets as well.
And you're right, as there are some psychosis on both teams along with annihilators on both squads. I see a scythe on the side from UX, and I see you just joined. And we see some active camos on both squads, which is interesting, unless if you want to go from it, maybe that, remember back in Ghost where you would like sneak past the map and try and get plays like that, but active camo, though, I don't know if that would work on uplink. Maybe for a couple seconds if you're trying to go down the mid-map or trying to sneak past some players. Not sure about that. Scythe and Annihilator and Heatwave. So your usual weapon specialists here. And now some players are going to have to edit their score streak. So from the first game, we saw Sway do a lot of work with the Man of War. And now that the M8 is being protected, I think Valor did protect the M8. So maybe you're going to see some M8s come out on here, but possibly some subs, since this might be what do you think? Is this more of a sub-oriented map or AR?
I think the game of Black Ops 3 is mostly AR based, but when it comes to using certain things, I think the ARs can definitely come into more use in the subs. However, if you're in those close quarter situations, you have the drone carrier. I mean, you can really be either one, but I think ARs definitely, whether you're in top broken, top ACs, wherever you really are on the map, definitely going to pay dividend, especially if you're using those ARs. So I think ARs definitely are preferred to me if you use them effectively. The M8, the Man of War, and we've also seen those be banned in previous maps. So kind of just depends, but I definitely say that the ARs are more preferable when it comes to just Black Ops 3 in general and on this map as well.
And now we're going to be starting things up on this breach uplink. So like you said, you want to try and have control of either your control or like take control of control or the top broken area, and maybe mid-map and this greenhouse area would probably where you want to run the uplink. But the main point is to try and get the numbers in your favor, trying to get as many players down as possible before you go and pick up the drone. And as I say that, Valor, I was on board. Tried to go for the drone right off the bat, but she was quickly taken down by Zokrin, who throws the drone off the map.
Absolutely, you're going to see Zub in the hand of Zokrin going to go through middle, grabs the drone, passes it to the enemy, and tries to take her out, but it's not going to work out in her favor. We're seeing some very aggressive plays here on Breach. Normally, you're going to see players kind of back off, but these ladies definitely want to be grabbing that drone and get it out as soon as humanly possible. Jay grabbing some kills underneath. We're going to see one player actually try to dodge to her right, and she's not going to be able to get away. Valor with the drone going to be going up top, broken. One player to beat here inside of the base, and she's going to go back off, try to maybe go up top here, but she's not going to escape some very early and aggressive play out of both sides.
Flavor is the closest to the drone. She is rocking the VMP and has the heat wave not ready, but possibly soon, and they are inching closer to the drone, and she is going to go for the smart one-point play as she was getting contested by Zokrin. Zokrin unfortunately not able to clean up that kill before the one-point play, but at least stopping the two-point play from happening.
Absolutely, and UX is just trying to get as much control as they possibly can. Barbie picking up one through top ACs and is going to run along the wall, but to her demise, she ends up getting dropped not too much long after. However, going to be on board with UX. They're just trying to get a little bit of map control. If they can hold them off, maybe bring them at top ACs, that's going to be big for them. But they have two down. Now the drone is in the hands of Valor. One player to beat, tries to throw that drone out, but it's also going to get dropped just like that. So pretty aggressive play out of the side of Sway, but they've just not been able to get through that wall that is UX up to this point.
UX are dropping like flies. The Sway is inching closer once again to their uplink, and I think there's Clammy here slamming in the two-point play and finishes off a player on top of that. I think Clammy did just earn her HCXD as well. 3-0 lead for Sway.
Indeed it is, and I'm going to be on board with Valor, just trying to grab as much control as they can. Also going to have that Heat Wave could definitely come into use. Takes that one player coming from Palace and is going to go and pick up that drone. One player going to be in front of us. Going to be Valor, passes it off to her. Now she's going to be taken out to the likelihood of those clones as well as the enemy players. That's going to be 3 down right now for Sway Gaming. Lord Lily to try to hold off for her team. That drone has been thrown forward, and now she's going to be in a big gunfight. Wins one, loses the second. However, Valor also using that Psychosis. Going to be able to pick up one there as well and pick up that drone. Very aggressive play out of Sway Gaming, and UX trying to respond. However, Sway definitely paying off for them as they are up currently 3-0 and getting those clutch kills.
That was an interesting use of Psychosis in the middle of the map. There was just such chaos with all these clones and people running around, but didn't seem to have fooled anyone here, as both teams is just an absolute chaos in the middle of the map. Try and get possession of the drone, seeing like Sway on board here with Flavor, who has her Heat Wave ready, is going to throw the drone out and pick it up once again, trying to make some plays here with her teammate, is going to pass it to Lily as they're trying to inch closer to the uplink drone.
And Sway and UX are just throwing the drone back and forth. Clammy getting a massive 2-piece there to kind of open up the lanes for her teammates. And now Lily's going to soar through the skies to get that dunk in. And that's going to be 5-0 for Sway Gaming, starting off very well. Valor in the back also holding down that flank on top ACs, and that's going to leave Clammy yet again to have that drone in her sights. She's also got that active camo, might try to use it here, and she will exactly. And this is going to be an easy push out as Sway Gaming takes full control of UX's base and also grabs that 7-0 lead.
And back on board here with Valor, who's actually going to go for the drone relay. Unfortunately, does get contested. Huge kills by Zokrin. And Zokrin on the UX squad has been contesting quite a bit of these plays, but unfortunately isn't able to close out those crucial kills. UX definitely need to step it up on the slaying capabilities, as well as Flavor and Lord Lily are both on a 3-kill streak each.
A good job there out of Sway. You know, had a couple issues there trying to get that drone dunk in. However, they were able to get the 1-point toss in regardless. And now Barbie left in through middle, trying to shut this player down as they're going to go and back up a little bit, maybe reference on what just happened. And Valor going to maybe back up, trying to throw that drone down and use that Psychosis ability, as I think she's got it maybe 3 or 4 times up to this point, using it very effectively. Going to be going through Palace as they're going to try to knock in yet again another point, maybe even a dunk or two, as that Psychosis will be discontinued, and there's going to be one player to beat. 28 seconds left. Going to go for the 1-point toss. Will it work out? It will. Good tosses and good overall play from Sway Gaming as they still have a 9-0 lead, absolutely dominating yet again.
Now UX players, all 4 players of UX going down, trying to push out of their spawn, but Sway have just been dominant at controlling the spawns, getting the drone plays working, and it's also when they pick up the drone, they throw it out and try to get those kills before pushing up. So Sway are doing some great textbook plays here.
Indeed, and you know, Sway is obviously very happy with this lead off the start. From what I've seen for so far out of Sway is that they want to win and they want to absolutely destroy as quick as possible. So, as I say, you know, 9-0 for any team off of that first side, they'd be absolutely happy with it. I mean, honestly, I think they want even more points. I think they want to get as many dunks as possible. They want to literally destroy the side of UX. And up to this point, you know, that first performance on that hard point was absolutely dominant. They're showing similar things here in game number 2. As they're going to be looking to close this one out. UX just trying to thrive and get any points they can back to force that game number 3.
Well, UX are at least, I think, like you said, on the maybe more preferable side. So Jay also, I think I've seen Jay has the specialist ready, and let's see if anybody else does. I don't think anybody else on UX has any specialists or kill streaks, and I think I see someone put down a sentry, probably from the Sway squad. So this is going to be hard, as well as Clammy has a dart and an HCXD ready. So this is going to be a tough job for UX to put some points on the board here.
It is indeed, and Flavor left all by herself to try to get that drone moving forward. However, UX is going to go and take it for once. Barbie going down, and now Zokrin left through middle to try to fend for herself, as she's going to have one enemy inside of bottom broken. It seems like UX is just too aggressive toward that drone. They're not, you know, getting the kills toward that drone, because when it comes to uplink, when it comes to CTF, where we're seeing a major toss come in, you have to go through one wave and you have to go through another wave off of spawn to be able to get those dunks and those points in general. And now Tizzy is trying to do her best to stay alive in top AC. She's going to be cut down, and now Zokrin with the drone in hand needs to reset that one as fast as possible. She will do so. However, going to be taken out by Clammy, as I believe we're also going to see that sentry guard in top broken, which is going to even pay worse tasks for UX here.
On board here with, I was on board here with Jay. She was doing some work in the middle of the map. 3 players from UX drop, and Zokrin was the last player before Clammy's sentry just destroys the middle of the map. So it was great placement by Clammy to put that sentry there, as Sway have just been ripping through the kills, and they have put more points on the board as well, as it is now 10-0 for Sway with 3.5 minutes left.
I'm also liking the passes out of Sway. You know, they have no problem throwing that drone up, you know, whether or not it's the connected pass or not, you know, just getting that drone up, getting it forward, and ultimately getting those dunks is obviously what really matters to them. And Flavor going to go and babysit that bomb, or excuse me, babysit that dunk there, as she's going to go and put that one in. 12-0, 12 uncontested points, and a dominating performance here, as Sway Gaming have absolutely destroyed. However, that, I believe, active camo being in use, that pass coming in, and now Clammy's going to run past one player and is able to knock it in. Fantastic use of that active camo, as she has her HCXD car, her dart, and it's looking to also be a victory.
And now Clammy gets to fly the dart around the map and just take out some players from UX, but I like that use of active camo. She literally just was walking by players while holding the drone. You see Clammy picks up one with the dart, and she might find a second player here. Unfortunately, does crash the dart, but she does still have the HCXD ready. And now players from UX are sort of all split across the map, and they need to get together if they would like to put some more points on the board here.
Absolutely. Wooden Flavor going to be on board with her at the break as 3 of the UX members fall. She's going to be pushing through bottom control, picks up that one, and now they're going to be moving forward as a roster yet again. Valor going to be off to the side. Also just use that Psychosis ability. He's going to go for 1-point toss over the building and is going to knock in that one as well. Out of Sway Gaming, obviously their slang is on point, and their 1-point tosses and their dunks as well have been that much more on point as well. Valor 3 down for UX now, 4 down for UX. They're going to keep the pressure on. Obviously, there is no limit to how many points you can score in Uplink, and Valor are going to be doing that yet again. She's most likely going to nail down another 1-point toss. So I think it's actually going to go off of that building and be stuck up there. But you know, I think what 14 out of 15 shots being made. I would not be mad about that at all.
I think Clammy also killed Lily, her own teammate, with her HCXD, which is funny. We saw that in our tournament yesterday. A lot of the team kills going down. Unfortunately, you don't want that to happen, but I don't think it put a dent into the game at all, as it is 15-1. UX trying to make something happen here, but Clammy is going to recover the drone if she can find it, and is going to throw it off the map for the reset.
Absolutely. And what I've noticed so far out of these female rosters, Sway Gaming more specifically, is how aggressive they want to be. Obviously, you know, being on host, being across the seas is obviously going to pay, you know, a big deal on the internet, which we can obviously be talking about all day. But, I mean, they've just seemed to be so aggressive. I mean, they have no problem, you know, being 1 player versus 3 and pushing forward with that drone. They have no issue in doing that. That's obviously led to a lot of success that they've had up to this point. That pass coming in, I believe that's going to be Valor, who passes that drone back over. And we're going to see still a 15-1 lead. I think that drone actually went and fell off the map. However, Clammy going to grab that one yet again. She's going to go try to maybe go for this top AC star. No, she's actually going to go around the map, use that wall running ability, fall down, and we're just casting every single thing she's doing right now. She's going to get a 1-point dunk, either a dunk or a toss, one of the two. We'll make it a dunk. And it's going to be 17-1, 30 seconds left, and UX is trying to clear all the ballooning that they possibly can.
This is just very scary plays coming out of Sway. They just keep spawn trapping UX every single time, and UX is going down 3 to 4 players at a time. And I think I just watched Valor punch someone to death. But Valor was the player to watch, I think, in this map, as she was just setting up the spawn traps and making UX spawn out, and then just watching her teammates putting in more points. 5 seconds are whittling down. 17-1 for Sway will be your final score, and also taking the 2-0 for the series. Sway will be knocking UX into the losers bracket, but it is not over yet for UX, as they can make their way through the losers bracket and also qualify through there. But congratulations to Sway Gaming for being for one of the first teams to qualify. Actually, there probably some other matches have been finishing up, but congratulations to them to be one of the teams to be qualifying.
Absolutely, and you know, it's kind of unfortunate, to say the least, for UX. However, I am very nervous. If I'm any females in the female pro league, if I'm any team, Sway Gaming is not one team to mess with, without a doubt. How aggressive they were, how on point their 1-point tosses were. Like I said, how aggressive they overall were. You know, there as well. Obviously, they're taking a look at that final scorecard there. Flavor dropping 28 kills, Clammy dropping 33 and 13, along with those 4 carries to mention also. So dominant performance out of Sway, winning the first game 250-9, like you mentioned, Lemon Kiwi, and 17-1 in the Breach Uplink. That's going to be a 2-0